One thing I learned in 57 years from being in multiple religions, I was brought up as a Jehovah's Witness, and then I came into Christianity, and then I learned a little bit about Islam, and at one time I was learning about Hebrew and things like that. But the conclusion that I've come to is I don't judge anybody on what they believe. And I'm going to tell you why. Because it's not clear to any of us what the whole truth is. People are just going by and they're grasping hold of certain scriptures, fragmented scriptures that we all have that was written a long time ago, right? But none of us, and listen to me when I say none of us have heard from the Most High in thousands of years. You'll have people in church say, oh, I'm hearing from the Lord. No, you're not. What does he sound like? Nobody has heard from him in thousands of years to be judging somebody else on what is true. Do you think that if people who are not doing their religion right, if there was an angel that cracked that sky right now and said this is the way that most of y'all should live, that 99% of the world wouldn't turn and serve the Most High Yah the right way? But we don't get proof like that. We get other people that tell us about the scriptures. And then the scripture says if you don't believe, then you go to hell. How can I believe and there's no evidence of what people are saying? And I'm not talking about the evidence that I'm created and that the world is created. I believe that there's a creator. There's no doubt about that. I believe there's a guy on high. But what I'm saying is, how do we sit up and judge other people when there's no clear proof? Just because you know a little bit of Hebrew, just because you're Islam, or just because you're a Hindu or whatever you are. Now, I'm not going to endorse all religions because some of them are just clearly stupid. If you believe that a cow is God, then that's something on a totally different level. But for me to sit up and judge a Christianity, for me to sit up and judge Jews, some of the Jewish people who people say are fake don't even know that. They don't know anything about that. But we're sitting up judging them and hoping they go to hell. How are we sitting up hoping people go to hell because they don't believe, but there's not a clear way to believe because none of us, again, have heard from Yah or God in thousands of years. We got to quit judging people, man, and thinking that we're so much better than them because we know a little bit more. But the truth of the matter is, don't none of us know nothing.